Hi, I'm Chris and I build brands online. How I got here is an unusual story that started with an engineering degree and a perfect job out of university. Let's see how it happened.
People say you have to have a lot of passion for what you're doing, and it's totally true. And the reason is because it's so hard that if you don't, any rational person would give up. It's really hard, and you have to do it over a sustained period of time. So if you don't love it, if you're not having fun doing it and you don't really love it, you're going to give up.
I have a great idea for a movie. Does somebody want to make it? You have to create the thing yourself. The thing that is scarce is the entrepreneur. So the people who are saying, I have a great idea for an app or a great idea for a startup, but somebody else should build it. The idea is not the scarcity. Every idea that you can think of has pretty much been thought of before. It's the details in the execution. It's wandering through the maze of potential ideas, figuring out dead end, I built this, that didn't work, turn right, build this, didn't work. That's the hard part. It's wandering through that maze with conviction, with passion, with knowledge. That's the hard thing. So the scarcity is actually entrepreneurs who are obsessed with an idea.
In April 2016, I was commuting 2 to 4 hours each way every day to Dublin. I'd fallen into the role 2 years previously, 2 months after I graduated. It was as close as I could get to the dream job that I had envisaged since I was 10 years of age. It didn't take me long to realise that I didn't fit in with people who are satisfied with being an employee. I hated the rat race. At the time, I was taking inspiration from people like Rob Lipsett, who are doing online personal training and documenting it on YouTube. I'd spent a lot of time in the gym over the previous couple of years, having had some serious injuries from Gaelic, and I got obsessed with bodybuilding style training. Naturally, I thought personal training might be a good first step to freeing myself from employment. So I went about doing a personal training course, creating a Facebook page. This is 2015, remember, Instagram was still on the come up. Posted some admittedly not great videos about training and nutrition, trained some friends, sourced some merch and created a brand, and quickly realised that I didn't actually enjoy training people. I much rather sourcing merch, creating brands and creating designs. Having enjoyed the process of designing and sourcing merch so much, I decided to take it one step further and started sourcing phone cases and t-shirts from Asia for a new streetwear brand called 13 Crew. I had already developed an affinity for the number 13, and incorporating it was my attempt at bringing in a counterculture element to the brand. In hindsight, streetwear is inherently counterculture, so I was actually walking straight into this stereotype rather than standing out. Back to bodybuilding. Being honest, I have favourable genetics, and being 5'7" on a good day resulted in quite an impressive physique. So I thought about stepping on stage, but my background in Gaelic, soccer and rugby didn't really align with trotting along on the treadmill. I had an interest in MMA and I wanted to understand what was going on the ground. So I decided to look up a local jiu-jitsu gym and kill 2 birds with one stone. On April 2nd, 2016, I walked into this gym for my first ever jiu-jitsu class. One round of live rolling left me so tired I slept on the sofa for the entire afternoon. I was instantly hooked and started sacrificing an extra day in the gym every week to do jiu-jitsu. That stretched to 3, 4 and 5 days a week until eventually I was doing jiu-jitsu every day. Now remember, I'm still driving up and down to Dublin every day, getting up at 5 AM, going to the gym straight after work, getting home at 9 PM, eating, sleeping, repeating. I had no choice but to develop an obsession with coffee, and when I get obsessed with something, I get obsessed. Funny enough, I noticed a large proportion of the jiu-jitsu community were the same, so I decided to combine my newfound loves of coffee and jiu-jitsu with my penchant for alliteration to create a brand called Coffee&Kimuras. So I designed a brand identity, sourced samples from Asia, wore them under my gi at training without ever telling anyone what I was up to. I was a zero-strike white belt after all, so I literally knew nothing. After about 15 samples from 8 to 10 different suppliers, I stumbled across a product that I actually thought was decent. I started buying rash guards from reputable brands then and realised that I'd actually stumbled across quite a decent product. By May 2017, I'd taken a new job closer to home. 10-minute drive, 15 with traffic. Everything seemed rosy, and I thought this employment thing might work out after all. By August that same year, I was fed up, so I spent the next 6 months working mornings and nights, getting myself ready to launch my own business. I knew it'd be difficult to make money straight away from the brand, so I decided to start another business at the same time doing what I knew, which was engineering and product design. So I bought a 3D printer and got to work. In March 2018, I officially started 2 businesses, 13 Design Consultancy and Coffee&Kimuras. For 9 months, I continued working mornings and nights alongside my full-time job to build up both businesses, doing some extra 3D printing to earn some extra cash, and getting everything ready to launch the Coffee&Kimuras brand. On Wednesday, November 21st, 2018, I was doing an engineering design training course in Dublin, near where I had worked 2 years previously. On my way home, I called into Dublin Airport to collect 2 boxes that contained the very first Coffee&Kimuras products. That evening, I shot and edited product images in this very office. The next day, Thursday, November 22nd, 2018, the day before Black Friday, I officially opened coffeekimuras.com to the public. Spoiler alert, launching a brand on Black Friday is a terrible idea. While friends and training partners bought some products, the first website sale didn't come until mid-January. In that period between late November and mid-January, I completely scrapped the original Squarespace website and moved over to Shopify, and handed in my notice. On January 2nd, 2019, I jumped out of bed, fully self-employed for the first time, sat in this very spot, excited about the possibilities. By 11 o'clock in the morning, I was sitting on that sofa with my head in my hands, crying, wondering what I'd just done. For the next 8 months, I struggled to get anything going. I couldn't make sales, I procrastinated with website tweaks, making poor social media content. By August, I'd taken up a part-time role 3 days a week in a local engineering firm to supplement my income. In March 2020, the world shut down. I was home receiving a government payment. It was a weird time, but exactly the reset I needed in my life. Every business needed to go online. The next 6 months were a whirlwind. I was helping my friend David do some design for his marketing business, and by the end of 2020, myself, David and Richie came together, and there and then, ZOMA was born. Since then, the business has grown to 10 staff, a town centre location, and 7 figures in revenue. Coffee&Kimuras has grown by an average of 92% each year since. I should have been documenting the whole process from the start, but I have been doing that consistently since May 2023. Click subscribe to keep up to date. Welcome back to the Brand Builder. On Wednesday 21st, spoiler alert, launching a brand. Tried them out under my gear training without telling.
You're alright, go again.
So I designed samples, Jesus. That evening, I shot and edited product. I got myself to about 5, oh my God. Excellent, too many numbers, right, I'm gonna cut some of them out. Back to bodybuilding, being honest, I have a favourable. This walk is gonna kill me.